Thank you very much, my namesake. I'm glad to be here. When Anne gave me this invite, I really asked her, kati ngenda kwogera biki nze atanywa njaga. And she said, yes, come and share some of your experiences eri abaana bano, and we see how we move forward. Drug addiction is a major problem. Yes, Vink has talked about it. The Eminems of this world have gone through it. Demi Lovato, Roberto Downey Jr., they all speak against drugs. It's a widespread use of drugs has led to catastrophic consequences, including the loss of lives, broken families. Celebrities are not spared from this epidemic too. You know, money, power, and fame gives individuals avenues to behaviors that can be self-destructive, that other people just don't have access to. Researchers have not settled the argument of whether or not celebrities are actually more prone to addiction or whether their struggles are simply more public. Maybe it's because you know, because the Vinkas are out there, you see, you think the Abes are out there, they take drugs, but drugs are there. People take drugs a lot. I'm really grateful to Drugs Apana for this initiative, because if we try to curb the vice with you, the young ones, I think we'll save a generation. We will save a generation. It is worth noting that addictions do not discriminate. It cuts across all socioeconomic classes. People use drugs according to psychosocial stressors. Celebrities might slightly have different stressors, such as fame, but they use drugs like all other people. The gentleman who was here, talking about how he got drugs from school. I mean, if you don't get anything from that, therefore, there's a genuine need for everyone to be aware of the mitigating measures in the fight against this scourge. We can't say there's no way or guaranteed way to prevent someone from abusing drugs and alcohol, but there are things that everyone can do to prevent substance abuse. Understanding how substance abuse develops, for example, using addictive drugs, illicit or prescribed, for recreational purposes. Once you allow me to use them just because ngenda kuduka, a school needs to win. Therefore, the sports teacher will say, nywayo kano to enhance. I mean, you are promoting this vice. Abusing prescription medication, self-medication. I'm going to those instances where we go, mpayo kano. Let me do this. I knew of a friend who died eventually. But because he felt pain, every time he would feel that pain, he would inject himself. Slowly, finally we found him in the Masengere now. He died in that building before it was turned into what it is now. But because he believed the more he he injected himself, the better he would feel. Na passing away. Era twamusanga afudde the next day. Avoid temptation and peer pressure. Now, this thing called peer pressure is bad. Develop healthy friendships and relationships. Avoiding friends or family members who pressure you to use substances. These things begin. The gentleman told you how he started it with his friends going out from Chisubi, going out to there, and then drinking. You surround yourself with people who abuse drugs and alcohol, you're most likely to be so or drink or take them as well. Peer pressure is a major part of life for teens and adults. If you're looking to stay drug-free, develop a good way to just say no. Because this whole thing begins here. It's in the mind. It's your attitude. It's how you say, I've never taken drugs. People will say you need drugs to do comedy. I've never taken it and I do comedy. I've been on stage for the last 30 years. I don't take drugs. It's all here. The minute you free yourself of this, the minute you free yourself and stand up and say, I won't do it, you won't do it. Now you as student leaders, like the gentleman said, have more call to do this, to prevent this vice from spreading. prepare a good excuse or plan ahead of time to keep from giving into peer pressure. You just have got to plan and say, I will not give into this device. Seek help for mental illness. Mental illness and substance abuse often go hand in hand. If you are dealing with a mental illness such as anxiety, depression, or post-traumatic stress disorder, you should seek professional help from a licensed therapist or counselor. A professional will provide you with healthy coping skills to alleviate your symptoms without turning to drugs and alcohol. Because people tend to think that alcohol and drugs are a way of escaping your problems. How do we examine the risk factors? Look at your family history of mental illness and addiction. Several studies have shown that this thing normally runs in the family. But it can still be prevented. The more you are aware of your biological environment and physical risk factors, the more likely you are to overcome them. It's all here. I'll still insist, it's all here. Keeping a well-balanced life. People often turn to drugs and alcohol when something in their life is missing or not working. He told you he moved from the first place to third, then he became 25, he was suspended, he went home, so he thought he could find solace in drinking. Practicing stress management skills can help you overcome these life stresses and will help you live a balanced and healthy life. As students, develop goals and dreams for your future. These will help you focus on what you want and help you realize that drugs and alcohol will simply get in the way and hinder you from achieving your goals. I am living a life that I've always wanted to live as a student. I wanted to be what I am. And I lived true to my dreams. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a film star. I wanted to be a TV star. Whatever I am doing is what I'd wanted to be as a young boy, as a young man. And because I wanted to be that, I stayed and veered clear of anything that would help me, that would cut my dream short. I'm living my dream. Have a dream. What do you want to be? And how do you think you are going to achieve your dream? A person who attained dreams, mwana, oliya yala, what you not dream. And at your age, you guys should be starting to dream of what you want to be. The best thing that my father gave me was education. And I thank him for that. Because without education, I would not have achieved much of what I did. Positivity is something that you must all adhere to. Let's end drug use in schools. At least we can. It's all here. Talent, fame can drive you to do so many bad things, but we can still avoid it. As people with talent, we can use our platforms for advocacy. We can share personal experiences, partnering with anti-drug organizations, leading by example. I try as much to lead by example because I don't want my kids. Any child out there is a reflection of what the family is at home. Omwana bw'anywa tolina bw'onkakasa. Abazadde tufube nnyo abaana baffe tubalage ekituufu. Fuba nnyo omwana wo omwana abeere gwe ky'oyagala. Fuba obeere omwana wo ky'oyagala abeere. So abazadde, it is up to us. Educating students about the dangers of drugs, and I applaud Drugs Apana for this initiative. Thank you so much. And for all the schools that have come here and all the sponsors that have put in all they have to promote this. Parental involvement, we encourage parents to take an active role in their child's future. Schools, increasing school monitoring. You know, students get smarter each day. Bw'obagaana kano ng'ayiiya kano, bw'ogaana cookie ng'aleeta akalala, bw'ogaana kano ng'ayiiya akalala. You know, as student leaders, we just got to keep on monitoring and also addressing and talking to students about this. Talent and fame have a powerful influence on young people. So, especially these days, we can use our social media platforms to spread positive messages, and that can stop drug abuse. organizing public events, collaborating with organizations, sharing personal experiences, like I said. Nobody should ever lie to you that drugs help. No. I've known of artists of my size and stature who have lost so much just because banywa enjaga, ne balwana, ne bakola batya. These are things that cannot be tolerated anymore in this world where we need to move on and be examples to the others, where we've got to make money, because no company can ever support you ng'omanyi nti onywa enjaga ogenda giswaza. So, as I wind up, mbakakasa, drugs, teziriyo, mwana tezikola. Tebikola ababalimba. I am a testimony here. I don't drink. I stand in front of audiences, international audiences. I've done films with every star that you know of. Sinywa mwenge and sinywa njaga. But I've done it. It's you believing in yourself and pursuing your dream. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Agiabe.